It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Ursuma.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. I'm joined by Bill Barnes. It's the middle of the week. Well, it's Monday morning anyway, but you're hearing this Wednesday. Bill Barnes, how's it going today?
Woke up to see another day.
You sound so energetic. So energized.
We'll see how this goes. Yeah. And, let's stimulate me here with some of your crazy thoughts and ideas that you pride yourself on.
Sure. Yeah, I pride myself on. Yeah. Well, we had some technical difficulties earlier, but I think we're good to go. We recorded our pre-show, if you will, for Facebook, and I think knock some kinks out or whatever. But you reached out to a lady on Facebook. You tagged her in our show. I'm very curious of the feedback we're going to get.
Well, I'm waiting. We'll see what she may be going to the local courthouse to get restraining orders. We'll hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, what was her first name again?
Kathy.
If you're hearing this, hey,
we're Dodger fans just like you are, sweetheart. It's all good. It's fun to kibitz back and forth, and don't call the authorities.
Yes,
absolutely. Need to involve them.
Well, this is the 60th edition, Bill, of the Weekly Wednesday Weigh-In. We've had a few conversations over the past year.
And look where we're at.
And we are almost as many years as Bill Barnes.
Yeah, one more broadcast, and we're right there with yours truly.
Well, I know, Bill, that it may not be your favorite topic, but the NFL schedule was released last week, and pretty excited about my LA Rams opening up finally that new stadium, hopefully with fans in it, against the Chicago Bears on September 12th, Sunday Night Football.
There will be fans there.
Oh yeah,
there will be fans.
Yeah,
whether it's a sellout, whether they're going to, have a ask for every chair, that's yet to be seen. It wouldn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
Would not surprise me, because the recall election is not until November. So Newsom's still going to be trying to kiss everybody's ass up until then.
Wasn't it interesting, Bill? Did you hear him say the other day, like, hey, magically now we're going to have no masks and everything by June 15th or whatever he said?
Well, yeah. I mean, we should have them off now. Okay. I mean, let's, enter at your own risk, folks.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you look around at, I turned to, who was it? Arkansas, Tennessee baseball game on. The place was packed.
Mm-hmm.
It's outdoors, mm-hmm. and no one umpires had to wear masks, but fans in the stands, no one's wearing masks. I mean, we are dealing with two different countries almost in some of the archaic living in some of these other places. So
yeah, well, you've got the South, which is, run by some good old boys, and they like to kind of, let people live. Whereas out here, we're run by a bunch of
overlords.
Yeah, a bunch of dictators who are power hungry, who want us to bow at their feet and ask permission to do this, that, and the other. And it's ridiculous.
Well, what's funny is some of the leadership is saying, hey, you're allowed to do this now. And for a lot of people, they've been like, I've been doing that. I've been not wearing a mask outdoors by myself or whatever. I've been only wearing it when required. So certain places are already open. And I just think as time goes by here, you're going to see more and more places open up. And isn't it funny, Bill? Think about this. So the extreme people that fear COVID and want people to wear masks if you really think about this, they're in a dilemma, because either the people who are vaccinated, they either continue to wear a mask to, basically virtue signal, mm-hmm. Which then people are going to ask, well, wait a minute, you're not vaccinated? So you are vaccinated. So either you're going to get shamed into wearing a mask or be vaccinated, but it's hard to do both because people are going to view you as, wait a minute, why are you wearing a mask? Meaning, because you know how the people don't want to wear masks. They don't want to be seen a maskless, I could say. Remember, did you hear that about the whole I look like a Republican if I'm not wearing a mask type thing. It's just,
Okay.
it's just,
Again, okay. Here's the bottom line. There's vaccines available. They can't give them away. Okay. They're driving to people's houses and basically knocking on their door and saying, hey, here, we got the shot for you. Have you had it? So, there are safeguards out there. Let's cut the bullshit, take the masks off. Now, we're taping this on Monday.
Mhm.
I would not be surprised by press time when we release this on Wednesday, if Newsom hasn't made an announcement that he's going to lift the mandate even sooner than June 15th.
really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because you've got the CDC, who are supposedly the experts in following the science, saying that there's no reason to wear masks now, unless it's a very, very crowded, tight indoor area for either vaccinated or unvaccinated.
Mhm.
So if he's smart and he wants to continue his quest to be reelected as governor, he's going to throw even more of a bone to the Californians and saying, okay, folks, it's go time.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised. I think June 15th will be the absolute latest. I'm thinking June 1st, June 8th, somewhere around June 1st.
About Memorial Day.
He may
know?
say, you know what? Shut him. All right. And great. I mean, I have news for him. I haven't been wearing mine except for when I go to a store and it says you must wear a mask. I'll put the thing on, I'll go in there and I'll get the hell out soon. I'm putting off a lot of things because I don't like to wear the mask anymore.
No.
Okay, I've worn it now for over a fucking year and I'm tired of it.
And some people early on were like posting pictures of themselves like, hey, look at me. I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
tried to be a good American and do it. But now that I'm vaccinated, now that I'm entering at my own risk, I understand those that don't want to get vaccinated. I could care less if you do or don't. Okay. I get it. I chose to. Maybe they put some kind of crap in me and I'll be dead in 2 weeks. I don't know. Okay. I'll take my chances. I'll roll the dice.
chip.
All right. I understand there's no guarantees in anything. So let's go. Enough.
What do you make now? Some stores, I believe Costco, Walmart, some of them have lifted the national. Now, I think states still have rights to do whatever they want, but some big stores have said, yeah, you don't have to wear masks anymore, with the caveat that those vaccinated. But how do you know who's vaccinated?
It's the honor system.
Yeah. How does that work? Sounds like mail-in voting. I mean, it sounds like it would work just fine.
Here's the deal. It doesn't fly in California. California's mandate is it doesn't matter. Target has lifted it, but if you go to Target down the street here today, you got to put a mask on because California says you have to. So it doesn't matter what these companies say. It's the state.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, private businesses, I believe, who know? I mean, if it's your place, like you don't have to wear a mask in my house.
Oh,
okay?
no.
So I don't have to adhere to that stupid bullshit. Okay. So, and these folks that are still driving in cars by yourself with a mask on, are you insane?
I do not.
Are you completely delusional? What is wrong with you?
It's a safety. It's just, I can't explain it. There's this will fire you up, Bill. This is someone who I pretty much despise. Rachel Maddow. Did you hear what she said about this whole mask thing? She says, quote, I feel like I'm going to have to rewire myself so that when I see someone out in the world who's not wearing a mask, I don't instantly think you are a threat or you are selfish or you are a COVID denier. Oh, God. And you definitely haven't been vaccinated.
Her and Don Lemon need to go get their nails done together and just, take a deep breath and hug each other, hug it out and move on.
We're going after,
she's got the best boy's haircut of any person I've ever seen in my life. I think she should be the model in a barbershop for a 12-year-old kid wanting to get a haircut.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, we have to rewire ourselves.
She needs to rewire herself because she's completely delusional. It's not because, she's to or fro on a mask.
Same person that cries tears after elections.
Yeah,
and things.
she's what's wrong with the United States of America.
Yeah,
Rachel Maddow is a perfect example of what is wrong with this country.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So yeah, we say it every week. I mean, tired of it. It's time to, and it's not to diminish the health of others. It's not, but we have a year of data now. And it's just funny how some people just constantly go back to, well, people die. It's like, yes, but most people don't. And this thing now with vaccines, herd immunity, whatever. Okay, it's time to move on. It's time to get back to living lives. So yeah, I am curious what your governor does here.
My governor.
And yeah, in the next.
Well, and he will continue to be the governor. He's going to survive the recall. He will probably be reelected next year because the Republicans in the state of California are too screwed up to get someone that can beat him.
Yeah.
John Cox is not going to beat him. The clown from San Diego ain't going to beat him. And Caitlyn Jenner's not going to beat him. Okay. All they're going to do is split votes 3 ways. And knucklehead Newsom's going to take all the Democrat votes and he's going to win. So it's just a, I think the recall effort was great because it got him off his little, empty suit ass, and he started producing. His handlers slapped him around and said, dude, you need to, quit being a dictator and start doing things that everybody's going to like.
Yeah.
So it served its purpose.
Rob Reiner is called.
There's another brilliant
meathead. Right?
He's been meathead since he played the part 50 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I want to talk meathead and a good governor, the Oklahoma governor, is a great guy, and you'll love what he did here. Kevin Stitt. He sent a clear message to PETA, who apparently put a big billboard of him calling him meathead. Or something along those lines. So what he did, he pulled out his barbecue and he started cooking meat under this billboard just to shove it up. I love stuff like that. Like, what'd you call me? All right, we'll cook up some steak. You talked about steak and whiskey and cheesecake and all that last week. So yeah, got me in the mood. That's awesome. I love stuff like that. What was I going to say? So back to the Rams. So the Rams, Bill, 17-game season. They have 2 Sunday night games, third at home. They have 2 Monday night games at San Fran and at the Cardinals.
So they don't get Monday night at home?
No Monday night games at home.
Well, Monday nights are unsafe in Inglewood anyway.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there tonight on a
and their Thursday night game is away. So 3 of their primetime games away. So that's interesting. It was so weird seeing 17 games out there for everybody. Really, really odd. Well, I don't like it.
Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Like, you can't control it. I'm not going to give 2 ounces of a shit about it.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be, we'll see what happens, but just a full stadium. I mean, can we get some people in the stands? Yeah, let's go. Okay. I want to ask,
I drove by the stadium the other night.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh,
gorgeous. It's a work of art. It looks like something out of the Jetsons, some type of, building that they would fly in and out of. It's brilliant.
Spacely sprockets.
Yes. Beautiful.
I love it. I wrote down these 2 quotes, Bill, from 2 former Democrats. And what struck
former Democrats, they're now Republicans. They're dead.
Both passed away.
Okay. They're both dead Democrats.
Dead Democrats, I should say. Okay, yes. Well, deceased Democrats,
okay.
Deceased. Right. But to me, the reason I bring it up is it really has shown me how far we've gone, how kind of far left the Democratic Party is. Think of these 2 quotes, and these aren't by any means perfect guys, perfect presidents, but one that I think is relevant from FDR. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Pretty good quote, right?
Yeah.
And I think very fitting for the COVID year we've had. And of course, the other one from JFK, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Boy, that's about as far a 180 now as it's, hey, what can you do for me? I don't work and I don't want to work. Oh, sure. No problem. We'll pay you to stay home. Okay.
And a lot of money to stay home.
Yeah. Like, ask not what I can do for my country, but what my country will do for me, because the Democrats, that's just what they do.
Yeah.
They pay to play. They pay for votes.
But what happens when you run out of money? I mean, that's the only problem with socialism is that eventually you run out of people's money, right?
Well, no, because I keep paying my taxes, and that money it's just only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And now here's the thing. Here's something that struck me quite odd. I heard this yesterday. The average price for a house in Southern California now is like $750,000.
The average?
That is what. And you know what? Who the hell can afford a house that costs that much?
No one, because you got to put what 10,
unless you are sitting on a nest egg with the house you have and you want to upgrade. I mean, the average payment now is like $3,600 a month.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, my God! And the cheap and the most affordable is in, of course, the IE San Bernardino County.
Mhm.
You can get a plush little pad over in Muscoy in San Bernardino now for about a mere $400,000.
$500,000.
So hey, I'm 2 paychecks away from being homeless. I'll move down to Santa Monica and they'll give me a beach house.
Yeah, beachfront property, man.
Beachfront property. I have my own little pod. Nobody will bug me. They'll send me meals.
Something to think about,
man.
Something to think
about. So, and that's another thing, this homeless thing. People are trying to solve this. Folks, you will not solve this. You will not solve it unless it is a law that if you're a vagrant, you go to some type of facility and you stay there until you're not a vagrant.
Mm-hmm.
Because the folks that are homeless, 85, 90% of them want to be there. They want to be on the street. They want to have that freedom to sit on their lawn chair, to sit in their tent and not adhere to any rules.
Yeah.
If people are willing to house you like these idiot city councilmen in LA are, there's going to be rules. These people don't want rules. They will forego a roof over their head to live on the streets the way they want to live.
Yeah.
You will not solve this problem until places are built, laws are on the books to place people into facilities and get them off the street. That's just the way it is.
How come there's a big homeless issue in, say Hollywood, but not, say Beverly Hills? I mean, two pretty,
Because there's laws in Beverly Hills that say you can't park overnight on the street.
Mm-hmm.
You can't park your ass in a tent anywhere. And there's strict laws on the books there that say vagrancy is unacceptable.
And it's enforced.
It's enforced.
That's a big
it's enforced. Did you know that in the city of Los Angeles, I could go get a car, I could park it in front of anybody's house on a city street, and there is no rule that says I have to move that car. I can go and forever. I can park my ass there, bring out my lawn chair, sit on the public sidewalk in front of this guy's house, sit there in my underwear and drink my morning coffee that someone probably feels sorry for me and they bring it to me. And that person whose house I'm living in front of, we're neighbors now, whether you like it or not. It is not enforced. Parking laws are not enforced in the city of Los Angeles.
Gee.
And we can thank Mayor Garcetti, who hopefully is in Washington right now, getting confirmed that he will be the new ambassador to India, and he's getting his red dot customized on his forehead to go ahead and move down there. Okay. And, let's just hope, because he's caused a shit mess in the city of Los Angeles.
Who would be a good mayor of Los Angeles? We're talking about,
I don't know of one.
I can't think of anybody. I mean, I'd love anybody really, but
any of the existing city council they have there, they're dog shit.
No.
I would say there's a guy named Dennis Zine, who was a former LA police sergeant. He was on the city council for a while. Dennis Zine would be a good mayor. He would take care of the bullshit. I guarantee you. Perhaps, God, I don't know. I don't really know. They've ran out. Everybody that's good has left.
Who has been some of the good mayors from the past in Los Angeles?
Well,
you remember,
Mayor, I think, what was his name? Kenneth Hahn's son, the old supervisor. He was pretty good. Mayor Reardon wasn't bad.
Richard Reardon.
Yeah. In fact, Mayor Tom Bradley wasn't too bad. Although Him and Daryl Gates absolutely hated each other, the police chief. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. Everybody was better than the guy they got now. My God.
Well, I think that it started with, Gil Garcetti kind of raising current mayor Eric Garcetti. I mean, rudderless ship, probably, right? After the OJ trial, it all went.
I mean, Gil was a pile of crap as a DA. He micromanaged that case and screwed it up from the beginning. But it's just one bad decision after another.
Yeah, you got that right.
Usually bad decisions make fun stories. God, this is a bad decision that has gotten worse.
James Hahn. Yeah, I'm looking at the list now. Yeah, you're right. But man, to go from Viracosa to Garcetti,
he was mayor. I mean, all he wanted to do was get laid. He would go around and if you were a woman, it didn't matter what you looked like or who you were. He was the perennial sniffer. I mean, that guy, I've heard stories about him. Oh my God. You would think, I mean, he made the guy in New York, Cuomo, look like, he was a hermit by some of the stories that Villaraigosa did.
Oh yeah.
What
a and I heard that wasn't even his real name. He changed his name to be more Hispanic, I guess.
Whatever.
Anyway, we don't need to talk about him. No. What were we saying? Bill, I know you don't know this person, but he's definitely on my mind, a lot of people's mind. His name's Pete Clark, in the hospital. Heart is not doing well. Very scary moment on Saturday. He collapsed. He's stable, but things are not looking great at the moment. The bad news is, let me see. I just got some updated, so I kind of want to read it.
Yes.
He's going to need a defibrillator, and his heart is only working at 15%.
That's not good.
So I'm still in shock over this. I know you've never met him, but for so many of our listeners, you got to understand, people at Rio Hondo Prep and Care, just so many of our listeners know who Pete is and are pulling for him and rooting for him. And man, it's been a tough weekend for me hearing this stuff. So my thoughts and prayers continually out to them. And I know you've never met him, but
well, like I mentioned in the pre-show, any friend of the show, any friend of the Rio Hondo community is a friend of mine. And, I wish him the best. It doesn't, like you say, it sounds pretty bleak, but hey, let's hope for let's send good, positive thoughts his way. Perhaps, there's a miracle or two left for him. And the good Lord up above will grant that and look after him. It sounds as though, a person that young, there's things that contribute to that. And I'll tell you what, stress is probably one of them.
Stress will
kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm lucky, me personally, my God, I've had enough to kill 15 people in my life. And luckily I'm still breathing. Who knows? I could probably,
it's therapeutic for you to come on here and release some of that.
So the point is that you have to deal with it one way: work out, run, go out and walk the dog, whatever relieves your stress, man, do it. Because as we get older, stress is a killer. It really is. It may not affect you today, but in 10 years from now, you're going to look like you're half dead, and then 5 days later you're going to be dead.
Well, it adds up, and we don't know the whole situation here with Pete, but it's a good subject to talk about because stress adds up over time, and you just think, okay, you're wired or you're strong. I've been had very intense moments where I don't sleep much. I got too much on my mind, and it's like, you got to be able to relax. You got to be able to, stay aggressive with life and everything, but at the same time, not put too much on yourself. And I know you've carried a lot of that over the years, right?
Yeah. Just from, the jobs that I've had, the lifestyle that I chose at times, which is self-induced, which is my fault. No one else's but mine. I take full responsibility for, doing those things. And It's not a good mix. Boozing it up or drugging it up is not the answer. It's, being able to fall asleep at night. And I know I've got lately, man, I haven't had a good night's sleep in a long time. I did, what did I do? Okay. Was it Thursday night? One of the nights last week, I finally broke down. I took some sleeping pills and man, it helped.
Mhm.
But that's not good. You can't do that for a long period of time. Once you start losing sleep and you're sleep deprived, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So, on a serious note, folks, is take care of yourself, man. We got a lot of young listeners.
Mhm.
Do something that will keep your heart rate at a good level, and try to, don't be having to take blood pressure meds like I do, since I was probably 40 years old. That's probably the only thing that's keeping me alive.
I am surprised more. Well, and tell me if you can. I mean, do a lot of. I was surprised more umpires, for instance, at the major league level, don't have more health issues, and a lot do. But what about police officers? Do a lot of them, maybe from carrying weight, stress, and all that? Do a lot of them pass away?
Well, see, the thing with the stress, the job itself, you're wired to go out and deal with people and take care of their problems. The stress comes from when you go out and you do something right. You think you've done a great job on something, and someone complains because you had your shoe untied or you looked at them the wrong way, and they take a complaint on you, and your supervisor calls you on it, and it's ridiculous. And then they make a big deal out of it, and they use that as a stepping stone to create a package on you to where you get some other type of complaint down the road. It's just the internal stress of the job is what got guys.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? If you went out and let's just say you got into some traumatic event where you had to take someone's life, it was your life or theirs, you deal with it. I mean, that to me, the stress has been resolved. Now, granted, nobody probably wants to have that on their conscience where they've killed someone, even though it was a righteous situation. Because that person probably back when they were 5, they were the kid that ran around the Christmas tree, just like we all did. But because that person took a couple of wrong turns in life, and they become horseshit individuals, and they become violent assholes that you had to put down like a rabid dog. Granted, it's not pleasant, but it's something that has to be done. You were the person that chose this job. You got nobody to blame but yourself. You went out and you do it the right way. It's completely justified. It will wear on you, but you've got to be able to have a good conscience and say, I did what I had to next.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But it's the internal part of the job, just like with umpiring, back when we umpire, you ejected somebody and you had cause to do it, and it's a good ejection. Well, someone second guesses you, and you think, you know what, fucker, you weren't there.
Yeah.
All right. You weren't there in the heat of the battle. That's where the stress comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the job itself. It's the people that are in the position to second guess you, to critique you, instead of backing you 100%. They always find something you could have done different. And that's what pisses me off.
Micromanage.
That's where I get angry and say, you know what? Can't you just say, hey, got you covered, no problem. Boom, done, end of story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting way to
because you're not going to go back and change it.
Mm-hmm.
What's done's done. You can't unring the bell.
No.
So let's just move forward, look ahead, and alleviate that as much as you can. I mean,
what are some ways what are some ways you relieve stress, or you've carried stress over the years? But what are some ways you kind of combated it?
Well, I probably did it the wrong way a few times. I mean, I used to, be a pretty heavy workout guy back when I was working. I wanted to look kind of like somewhat menacing and intimidating when I was working, and I had to do a lot to do that. And later on, I would run. I used to be a pretty good runner. I used to go out and run a little bit, lift some weights, do this, do that. And then as you get older, you get away from that, and you probably indulge a little bit too much in some in some alcohol once or twice a week. And there were times that, I wonder how the hell I got home. And I went out. The first thing I did when I wake up was I go check the car to make sure there's no dents in it. There's no body parts hanging on it. And you thank God and you say, I'll never do that again. But 3 days later, you're doing it. So back, I was no angel. I'm not perfect. I probably drank too much at certain points in my life. I've tried to alleviate that and I've done a good job of it. I'll tell you what works for me now is I know once a week I get to come on here and just blow it out and pontificate all of my stressors and things that frustrate me, and I get it out, and I'll try to be in a positive, funny way. But to those who know me, I won't bore you with the details. I've had some shit in my life personally that would they've taken a toll on me, 2 or 3 times. So with that said, you either let it destroy you or you move on.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to be an asshole about it and compartmentalize it and just put it away and visit it at times because it's still there. And you try to move forward, look ahead, and not let it just eat you up. But it will take a toll on you physically and mentally if you allow it. Even if you don't allow it, it still will a little bit. So with that said, protect yourself, take care of your heart, because without your heart, that's the engine of your body. Yeah. Without that, you're fucked.
Yeah. Gotta keep the ticker.
So anyway, that's my 2 cents of medical advice for free. And, hope it works for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important. I mean,
if I can save one life today, I've done my job.
Yeah. Andrew Cuomo. Yeah. It's interesting. We talk about, you talk about, improving your body with exercise, even improving your mind with just talking, letting things out, or psychology, or talking to therapists or whatever. But your heart does carry a great deal of the stress in your life. And it's almost like there's diet and exercise are good for that, but it's not always the case. Like for instance, with our guy, Pete, Bill, very healthy guy. I mean, not overweight. I mean,
there's been a lot of those guys over the years. You don't marathon runners, and they drop dead.
Yeah.
They're great, but it's just, there's a tick somewhere in them that things aren't right. And once that thing blows up, you're done.
Yeah.
And that's horrible.
Yeah. Well, speedy recovery, Pete.
Yes, absolutely.
We're pulling for you, man.
Yes.
Hang in there. And I know you're a fighter and someone that I greatly admire. Crazy story about Pete, Bill. He kind of piqued my interest in umpiring. He used to umpire the kids' games.
So we have him to blame.
It's all his fault.
Okay.
And he was a guy I noticed as a kid in junior high. Like, I wanted to be like him because I was like, man, he took pride in umpiring. He'd gear up and everything. And he was the first guy I was like, hey, I want to do that. And so I'll always be grateful for him for that. So yeah, he was, I mean, you remember, don't you, back when your first guy that you were like, hey, I want to umpire. I want to try that.
Yeah. I remember the first, my kind of guy that got me interested was a guy in a lot of, I don't know if our listeners, I don't think, but he's passed on now. He died. Yeah. He died probably at 60 something, back in 2001 or 2. Chuck Lewis was an umpire back in the inland area. Outstanding official. He did all 3 sports. He would ride up on his motorcycle, and he had a command presence. He'd ride up on a motorcycle, that all his gear and his saddlebags, and he'd gear up and he'd roll his sleeves up, Dutch or Eddie Vargo style, walk on the field. And I don't think I ever saw Chuck Lewis miss a call ever.
Wow.
When I was a player, I remember him umpiring, and nobody dared argue with him because he was right all the time. And then I got to umpire with him when I started a couple times. And then it was really freaky is I worked a football game at Moreno Valley High School on a Friday night. Chuck, who had slowed down a lot, he had some bad knees. Chuck was our head linesman that night. I was the back judge. And we talked, I knew Chuck pretty well. We talked a couple, during halftime. I said, I really admired the way you, officiated, carried yourself, blah, 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 blah. Chuck had this day, he had this, like deep voice, and, he would, that's good, anyway. Well, I get a call the next Friday morning, I get a call from a guy. Hey, you heard Chuck Lewis died? I go, what? So I had worked his last ever football game with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And and baseball season was coming up, and he said, I'd like to work some games with you. I said, great. Never got that chance, but I went to his funeral, and I mean, the who's who. I mean, Ronnie Lott was there.
No kidding.
Yeah. Ronnie Lott, him and his dad were there. Al Jury, who I think him and Al actually went to high school together.
Oh, wow.
Al was there, spoke about him. A lot of coaches and both football and baseball coaches were there at his service. And just a really, really good guy that everybody loved. He was one of those guys that he was respected. And again, I never, ever saw him miss a call. It's amazing.
That's fine.
Anyway, that's who got me into it, or not got me into it, but that's who I kind of,
you saw,
I saw that, what,
I want to do.
He does it the right way.
Yeah.
He doesn't show up and he's, half dressed and, with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, walking on the field. That, a lot of guys did that back then, but Chuck did it the right way. He was also I believe he was a math teacher at either San Gorgonio High School or San Bernardino High School back then. And, one of these guys that was probably very, very instrumental in orchestrating some careers, both in the classroom and then on the field.
Oh, so. Well, my man, Pete, he was, he had style, man. He was loud. He was energetic. He was always popping and awesome strike calls. Strike three, forget about it. It was the coolest thing ever. Do you remember trying different things out when you were a young umpire? And like, what was something kind of crazy? You don't have to show the audience, but tell us.
I would, I heard a guy echoing a strike call one time. And so I tried that and it sounded stupid. And I said, never again. Yeah. You always try to, you see something that works with people and you try it yourself, especially when you're young and trying to figure it out. But if once you do go through all that and you just develop your own style, and as long as you're getting the calls right, doesn't matter what you look like when you call it. If you miss it, you're going to get yelled at. It doesn't matter how flamboyant and how much of a salesman you are. So you find your niche and you stay with it and keep going.
Yeah. I mean, you've tried things too you did the scissors thing for a while. I mean, I've seen, but you are probably most famous, Bill, in your umpiring life for having the Captain America shield, for having the balloon.
Well, that was self-preservation. In summer ball, you'd get the old balloon, and it was 105 fucking degrees. So you didn't want to put the gear on. So you wore a one shirt without a t-shirt, and then you had the balloon, and that was self-preservation because usually the pitching and catching was dog shit, and you didn't want to get beat up.
Oh,
plus it was hot.
Yeah, taking some shots, man. Yeah, you were hilarious, and you the thing.
You just strap it into one and keep your right arm free.
Yeah,
and just start
and
and stuff.
The safe was hilarious. Yeah. It's like kind of 1.5 arm.
Right.
But yeah, that was style indeed. That used to be the thing back in the day.
Oh yeah, I grew up on one of those. I used a balloon for all the Little League when I was a kid. The snack bar, they'd have one in there, so you went in and strapped that thing on and hid behind it, and that's how you learn.
Oh yeah, that is awesome. That is again, how you learn. You throw on the gear. I mean, I umpired games behind the plate as a kid in shorts. I took balls to the shin. I was like, why don't I have shin guards? It just made sense. I mean, I did stupid stuff when I was first starting out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. That's how you learned. Crazy.
Learn by trial of fire.
There were times, when you have to rotate up to third as the plate guy, I'd take the balloon and fling it like a Frisbee to the backstop and run up to third and make that call with nothing, feeling good.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, you know who I got coming on the show we're going to record on Thursday, I believe, is Cal Poly Pomona baseball coach, Randy Betton. He has agreed to do a little interview with me. So I'm excited about that.
Good old Randy. I
yeah.
love it. I hope he's watching this to get a warm up, to get a feel of, your Edward R. Murrow style over there. Yeah, Randy will be a great guest. I'm glad he still has a job because, of course, his big argument with me one time is I got a call right at first base. He came out to argue. And he goes, Bill, I'm going to lose my job because you called that was a wrong call. I said, Randy, you're completely delusional. I said, number one, you're not going to lose your job.
Yeah.
Number two, I got the call right. So if they fire you for that reason, you call me and I'll get you your job back.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta come up with something better than that.
He's funny. I always like working his games, and we'll share some stories.
Randy was
a
great ball player.
Riverside guy
Got to AAA with the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Really good middle infielder, good hitter. He was just that one little iota away from, being in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm. That's all it takes is, it's very something small difference. So, he's coming on. I can't wait for that. Gonna have some fun conversations. I think he was more than willing to do it. So we're expanding.
Well, he's got nothing else to do.
Yeah, they canceled
he's been sitting
the
home
season
for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Vinny now in Cal State LA.
Did he follow Scalinos or was there another guy?
Oh no. There was Mike
guys?
Ashman. Mike Ashman was at Cal Poly for many years, and now Mike is he's a coach with the Angels.
Yeah, I was gonna say Angel.
And
okay,
I see him. Mike's a neighbor of mine, lives over in Rancho. I see him every once in a while out walking. We'll meet over at a coffee at Badass Coffee, and we'll share a cup of coffee together. And in fact, I played against Mike in high school. He was a pitcher at Bloomington High School.
Wow!
And he had a wicked curveball that was unhittable. And he went on, played some pro ball. Mike, solid, good guy.
So he was a head coach at Cal Poly.
He was.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know Randy does a great job over there, and it's we'll have some funny stories.
Yeah.
You want me to ask him anything specific? Maybe you need some time to think about it.
I may do a surprise call-in.
Oh,
Thursday morning or whenever you do it.
It's a Zoom, so you could probably just.
I don't want to overstep my boundary, but I'll think of something. I'll write something in.
Yeah,
and, we'll ask him something.
A few things
that pertinent to his.
Because didn't you guys share an airplane ride one time?
We shared an airplane ride from Ontario to Dallas Fort Worth. And he was going down as a representative for the Division II tournament or something, it was the national championship. He was going down there for something. He finagled his way down, and I was going down there to umpire the thing. And we saw each other at Ontario, and we ended up sitting together on the plane, and we had about 12 rum and cokes at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we were in really, really good.
No games
mood.
that night.
No
games that night.
We were in a really good mood when we got there, and of course, I sobered up because the guy that was picking me up took fucking forever to get there. I sat outside the terminal at Dallas Fort Worth Airport in 105-degree weather for about 2 hours, and I sweated all out of me. I do distinctively remember that.
Okay.
So yeah. The trip was great until that happened.
Yeah, then of course baseball got in the way too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's gonna be fun. I'm trying to think. Did you other than that, him telling you you're gonna lose your job? Did you have any? Trying to think. Did you have any situations with Cal Poly or with Randy and them? You get along.
No. Randy.
He's very fair.
Yeah, fair guy. He really didn't know how to argue. He really did not argue.
Would you tell him that?
I told him that. I said, Randy, you don't know how to argue, man. I go, you come out here like you're a little kid in nursery school.
Oh, Bill.
And, but he was okay. He was all right. He'd have some snipers every once in a while from his dugout.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd scream and yell at him.
Gotta shut them down real quick. Yeah. He's really good at tackling assistant coaches, which we might talk about on Friday this week. So anyway, Bill, I got another great show for you. I don't know if you've seen it already. Your Honor. Bryan Cranston plays a judge.
Yeah.
It's a 10-part series, mini-series. I really, really enjoyed it. I was going to talk about it on the Monday show, but didn't get to it. We finished it last night. Really, really good. I won't give too much away, but is
it what, Netflix?
It's on Showtime, so you can probably find it on Amazon.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll burn through it, I think, pretty quick.
I did watch that. I finished it last night. It was a 4-part series on Son of Sam.
Oh, my brother Sam told you to do that.
And I watched that, and it doesn't change my mind one iota. I think there was, anyway, watch it. It's entertaining. I don't think, Berkowitz might have been part of a cult that they're trying to say that there's more people responsible. He wasn't the only killer, and that one of the kills was a snuff film, which there was when you're dealing with when you're either in a cult or following a cult or wanting to be in a cult, bad shit's going to happen to you because you do bad things. Okay. I think Berkowitz was just some mixed up, screwed up jack off that killed all 6, to be honest with you. He's saying that he didn't, but watch it. It's entertaining. It's a 4-part episode. You had this investigative reporter who was absolutely obsessed with trying to make people believe that Berkowitz, Son of Sam, didn't act alone. Yeah, there's a lot of info there, but it's just not really verified.
Why was he called Son of Sam?
Because Son of Sam, because evidently somebody named Sam was making him do these kills, a dog named Sam or something.
Oh, okay.
And he was the Son of Sam. So he alluded the letters that he would write to the New York Daily News columnist Jimmy Breslin, he referred to as the Son of Sam, referring to himself as Son of Sam. So that's where he was also called the 44 caliber killer because he used a 44 caliber handgun, which is a big ass bullet.
Yeah.
And it can do a lot of damage. So,
and was there a pattern to his kills? Like
the pattern was he would go to areas where brunettes, women were making out with guys in cars in Lover Lanes type places in either Queens or Queens area of New York. And he would go and just walk up on them and shoot them.
Wow.
Yeah,
man. So don't make out in cars. That was at that time.
That's why, during that time, my girlfriend's parents also, Bill, if you're going to look, I don't want you making out in the car with my daughter. Just come inside and do it. And I'm good with that. Even though I was in Riverside, California, about 1,000 miles away from where Son of Sam was, still there could be a copycat.
You never know. Oh yeah.
Anyway,
never know. Well, Bill, this is my genius idea that I know you're going to hate and disagree with. So I'm going to bring it up now. I want a realignment of Major League Baseball, and it's going to require some changes. So I love old school thinking, and I don't like change very much, but the direction we're going, I have some thoughts. So if you remember last year, the COVID year, they went international DH, DH and
universal DH,
universal DH. And they pretty much played regionally. NL West played at NL West, mostly with a couple of games in the AL West, right? So that got me thinking, I want to do away with American League and National League. Hear me out. I want to go 4 divisions, 4 8-team divisions. Now that's 32. Yes, we're going to have to add 2 teams, which I know they're talking about. I'm going to say Nashville and Charlotte so that we can have 8 teams in each region. Major League Baseball West is basically the NL West and AL West minus the Texas teams. So you're 8 teams there. Down south, you got the Florida teams, the Texas teams, the Missouri teams, Atlanta, Nashville, and Charlotte. The Central, Detroit, Minnesota, Milwaukee, Chicago, Cincinnati, Cleveland. And of course, the East is basically the NL AL East without the Florida teams or Atlanta. So those are my thoughts, Bill. 4 8-team divisions where you kind of just play regionally. You play everybody. But what do you think? Commissioner Matt Hersema does it.
I thought fucking Manfred was bad. Dude, you need to either stop smoking what you're smoking or start smoking something, because that idea is dog shit.
Why?
Number one, you've got the talent in Major League Baseball right now is so piss poor, and you're going to add 2 more teams. That means 50 more guys of piss poor talent.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Santa Ana College has emptied their roster with the Angels. Okay.
Oh boy.
Now you're going to ask for, I mean, come on. No, leave it alone. I mean, what's wrong with the way it is now?
I'm just saying 3-5. Some of the they don't make any sense. Like, why are the Texas teams out here in the West? Why are
it doesn't matter. They're teams.
I guess
they're teams. It could be, why are they wanting Oklahoma State to go to the Pac-12, Pacific 12?
Pacific.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not close to the Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just, I mean, I remember when San Diego State was going to go to the Big East.
Oh, I do remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. It just means you have a longer plane ride.
It's true.
Okay. That's all it means. A team's a team.
I guess. Yeah. And as far as I just don't understand, like, you got the Angels and Dodgers are 20 minutes from each other. Why are they not in the same division? That just cracks me up.
I wish they would never play each other. I wish it would be the freeway series and exhibition series like it used to be, and that's it.
Really?
I want it to go back to American versus American, national versus national, and then have a unique teams that have never seen each other before play in the World Series.
Really?
I'd love to see that.
And would you want the umpires to go back to their leagues?
No, they can roam about freely.
Let me see. 162. You're only going to play 14 teams. So you're going to play everyone 12 times, probably 11, 12 times.
You're going to get a steady dose of people. Aren't you?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Can't imagine. Okay. You shoot my idea down. It was just an idea. Don't yell at me.
Well, it's a dog shit idea.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not
I hear
telling
you.
the truth. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear.
Hey, that should be the motto of the weekly Wednesday weigh-in.
Right.
All right. Well, Bill, as you mentioned, the Pac-12 did hire a new commissioner, George Kleifkoff. I think that's right. We were wondering who the new commissioner was going to be, what conference he was going to come from. We know where this guy came from. The MGM Resorts International.
Oh, so he's a towel, and he's making sure everybody's got towels and mints on their pillows. Really? That's who they hired?
Let's see. Oh, but thank goodness. No. He does have some sports experience. Here it is. Ready? He is.
I can hardly wait.
He's a member of the WNBA's board of governors.
Oh God!
And by governor, they mean owner. So just when you thought the Pac-12 couldn't get more of a joke, what do you
women's basketball in the Pac-12 is going to get on the map?
Probably.
Well, good. So they went from one idiot to another. Then
I loved being a student athlete. I'm wondering what he played. What do you think?
Probably
badminton.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe he was on the he was the guy on the crew team that said stroke. I don't know.
Previously an executive vice president of business with MLB Advanced Media.
He's a media guy.
Digital, Hulu, NBC stuff. So
so they want to get themselves on the map
to maybe expand their media coverage.
Have a product that people want to watch.
Yeah, we'll make it easier to watch too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bill, I don't know about you, but the ACC network, SEC network, Big 12, Big 10 network, heck, the Texas Longhorn network, that's all pretty easy to find. Mm-hmm. There's some of these carriers, you can't find the Pac-12 network. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, I think they expected it to just take off and it's just been a disaster. So new commissioner for the Pac-12, at least Mr. Scott is.
Yeah, Larry, good riddance. Take your $5 million, $15 million you make a year and, go to the MGM resort now and spend it. Just trade places with the guy that replaced you.
Yeah. Trade places. Well, speaking of Vegas, they're open now, Bill. No more mandate. No more. Hey, if you need a vacation, that's a place to go, man. Well, casinos, everything.
I hope they're cleaning the homeless and the transients and the crooks off the strip. Because that last time I was there, it was a shit show.
When was that?
It was before the pandemic.
It was before?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was there right before.
I went, let's see. I went
week and a half.
I went to Laughlin twice during the pandemic. And that was like communist China trying to do anything there.
Oh, that's right. Burn a mask in the pool.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not, you know what? I want to have absolute 100% freedom to do anything I want to, like it was before I go to any of these places.
Yeah.
I don't want to be restricted one iota.
No. So can I ask you what changed for you? Because there was a time when you're like, guys, this isn't a big deal. Hey, wear a mask. I mean, I felt like your tone changed a little, not drastically, but
Well, because we're on the down slope of this.
okay.
And we've had vaccines out now for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And we're to the point now, and it's been probably for the last month, that if you wanted to be vaccinated, you can be. I mean, they're trying to give the shit away now. Nobody wants it. So therefore, it's time to enter at your own risk.
Yeah.
Okay. We've put the safeguards out there. We've got things in place. If you want to get vaccinated, great. If you don't, that's fine too, but don't hold me hostage. Let's go. Open things up.
Oh yeah.
It's time.
It is time. It's more than time. It's been over a year. Summer's coming. I mean, Memorial Day is in 2 weeks. The unofficial start of summer. I mean,
it's been 14 months now since this whole madness started.
Ooh, that's a scary thought.
And nobody was, nobody gives Trump enough credit for basically putting a gun to these people's heads and saying, find a vaccine
now
and do it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they did at his direction. And does the House plant Joe Biden, has he thanked him at all? Has he mentioned him one bit?
No,
Of course not.
None at all. None at all. Remember when, as you mentioned, you talked about Obama calling President Bush, Obama calling President Bush, former President Bush, when they were, the whole Bin Laden thing happened. Like there was a relationship there. That now it's, well, yeah, guys, Joe thinks he probably did the vaccine too.
Joe's delusional. Joe doesn't know what he's. Come on, if you can't recognize this man is mentally unstable and has a form of dementia, then you have dementia. The man is loopy. He's nothing more than a houseplant.
Yeah, it's scary every time he gets up to speak, man.
I mean, when Jimmy Carter is more mentally alert than he is, it's scary.
Oof, that is, it's just every day there's something out there, with President Biden, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me, man. You've absolutely got to be kidding me. We don't need to talk about that. That'll just get you riled up. You don't need stress, Bill.
No, I don't.
I talked briefly last week about some college football that happened, and I won't go into the details of the game, but yesterday the national championship finished on May 16th. Now these teams are going to turn right around and play again in August. So that was the downside of playing a spring season. Thank God the other divisions didn't do that. They played on time. But
I saw it was like the D1AA or one.
Yeah, the FCS.
Sam Houston and North Dakota State.
South Dakota
State.
Good game. Really good game. 23-21 went down to the wire. And it was pouring rain, lightning delay, whole thing. But I enjoyed it.
Where'd they play it at?
Frisco, Texas.
Oh.
I guess they play it down there every year. But Bill, what else is on your mind? What I've been kind of doing everything here. What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to this marine layer that we've had the last fucking month to lift, this foggy, depressing Oregon, Kurt Cobain, I'm going to go blow my brains out weather that we've had. Let's come on. That's just California for you. One day it's 95 and the next day it's 55.
How spoiled are we in California? Bill, you're complaining about a little cloud cover.
I don't like
California. It's going to be 110 degrees here in a week.
Bring it. Let's go.
Yeah. Sunbathing weather.
Yeah. Let's go. Ice water and tanning oil.
Whatever. The Bill Barnes special. Okay. Yeah. Well, we could call it a day if you like, Bill. We've been on here about an hour or so. That's probably enough. Unless you
the average span of people paying attention is 25 minutes. So after 25 minutes, we probably bored the shit out of them.
No, we didn't bore anyone. We got serious. You brought your A game. You pontificated a little bit.
Well, I just want to, I'm here to help people. It's not about me. It's about you.
Occasionally here and there. Any big plans for the summer? More of the same? More working?
I'm telling you, I need a vacation. I need I need to get somewhere where the water's warm and the drinks are cold.
Yeah,
you know,
that sounds gorgeous.
and maybe, you know, be left alone a little bit. Let me just lay there without a mask on,
No mask.
and just chill and relax.
I can't wait. I don't know if we're going to do it when we're going to do it, but I want to have we can't set a fire in here, but let's do a mask cutting ceremony here soon on one of our Wednesday shows.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's do it. Sooner the better. And again, don't be surprised if Newsom says we're going to don the masks or rid ourselves of the masks sooner than June 15th.
I hear you there. I think that's going to happen. Can I tell you just real quick, but while I got you, you know, this YouTube thing we've been doing, I am surprised how many people watch the podcast compared to how many people listen to it. I think a great deal of it is you promoting it more with some of the people you come in contact with. I mean,
I do the best I can, you know. But anyway, what do you got?
No, a couple of weeks ago, I mean, YouTube alone we got 71 plays on one.
71
on one. That's not even including our audio.
Holy
that we still
shit.
get. Now we're about 20, 25, 30 or so, but still that's surprising. I didn't think that having our faces on camera was going to improve the listenership of the podcast.
Well, you know, we have faces for radio.
That's exactly.
So I'm surprised as well. You know, our makeup artists here at the Eastvale Studios do a great job in making us presentable.
that they do. Oh, well, Bill, thanks for being here today. Let's wrap it up.
You know, we had a couple. I'll end with this. You know, Helene Curtis, the great makeup artist from years past, one of her representatives were here doing makeup for us, and someone from Max Factor also. And they reminded me that I asked her, I go, whatever happened to Helene Curtis? And they said, Max Factor. I'll stop at that. That's my joke for the day. Play on words, Jack.
Oh,
come on. Read between the lines for Christ's sake.
Oh, yeah. That's
a bad one. It was bad.
Oh,
somebody out there is going to figure it out.
Wrong. Bill, real quick, who do you want to see come on this podcast soon? I'm looking for guests nonstop.
I'm gonna reach out to you know what? I'm gonna call Dennis Rogers.
Oh,
I'm gonna see if Dennis can drop what he's doing, which is probably God only knows what. And see if Dennis would come on. Dennis is a very entertaining, lively, spirited guest. He would give you the highlights of his, you know, in coaching career. He coached me when I was a junior.
Oh, that's a scary thought.
You know, and that was probably his first year of coaching, and that didn't deter him. He went on to do a lot better, bigger things. But I still, even when I was umpiring Dennis's games, I learned a lot from Dennis.
Yeah.
You know, he worked with in the minor leagues for years, and Dennis would be good. Geez, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something to think about. Yeah, and we'll try to, you know, I'll try to do your job for you. So
I've been doing this.
I mean, you've
look at
talked
this.
to,
We got a guest list up here. I've been working on
to every alum of Rio Hondo Christian for 15 times over.
No. Okay. We got more coming. And we're going to get you your real Hondo prep gear real soon.
Good. So I'm tired of wearing this Memphis shit.
Yeah. What are you doing? Come on, man. Yeah. Real Hondo prep.
Good. I'll wear it endlessly if you do.
I know you will. So we got to get that to Bill.
Real
here.
Hondo.
What size are you?
Girls volleyball JV shirt.
No. Oh, what size are you? What size of the t-shirt?
What do you think? I mean, I'm a large,
XL?
extra large. You know, I want the, you know, a little tight in the sleeves so that the pipes will show.
What about your hat size? If they're,
do you think I wear a hat?
I don't think you do, but
7 3/8.
7 3/8. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on more guests, and I'm always reaching out to other people about, hey, who would you like to have come on? So I need help, Bill. I need help. Anyway. Bill, thanks again. It's been fun.
As always,
another episode.
Another Monday. Another 3 hours of my life I can't get back, but it's all right. I'm doing it for you folks.
Oh, and for you, relieve that stress.
Well,
right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Blow it all out. Well, until next week, Bill. This has been our 60th edition of the Weekly Wednesday Weigh-In. Let's keep it going.
Next one will be 61.
I can't wait for 100.
I live that long.
Your age.
Right.
Your age. Let's get there. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today on the Get Home Safe podcast.